Alright, I'm going to try this again. I'm having some issues with chaos going on around here. Apparently it's still going on. Alright, so my Franklin Covey order from Japan arrived this morning. Actually, I should say my Franklin Planner Japan order arrived, to be more precise. And I've already ripped right into it because I'm not one of those unboxing kind of people. I don't wait for that stuff. So I ordered 4 things for specific reasons. The first is I've been in personal. Oh, when did I move out of? I think I moved back into personal back in July or August. Whenever it was, I decided to move work out of my planning system and into electronics again. It just has worked out better for me, at least for the short term. And so I left A5, which I used for about the first 4 months of the year. No, I used it from February through June. And decided, okay, it's time to suck it up and move into Classic whether I want to or not. Too much of the kids' paperwork from school, mail, stuff from my kids' activities, all sorts of paperwork that comes home on letter size paper or half letter size paper, and it would just be so much easier to just not have to shrink it or recopy it or do whatever it is I need to do. So I placed 2 orders. Now, although I know I just said all of that, I've been the most successful at carrying a compact or a personal size binder. I have one of each right now. I've got my Filofax Personal Bloomsbury, which I love and I use as a wallet supplement even when I'm not carrying it as a planner. And so I will continue probably to carry that no matter what, at least when I go shopping. And then this here is a Franklin Covey, I think this was called the Color Shrunk Binder. I picked this up on one of the Facebook groups, Franklin Covey edX. I don't even know how long ago I bought it now. So it's quite worn in even before I got it, and I've certainly added to the wear. And so I've put in these extra inserts that I've ordered in case Classic doesn't end up working out, because I'm that kind of person. And I ordered the October of this year through September of next year because that's what they had available. If Classic fails, I'll know it pretty quickly and I'll need to move out. So what I did order, and I did kind of leave this partially packaged for you guys because I wanted to just see how they package these, is the Classic size day on 1 page in original or whatever. Yeah, original. Why did I go to the trouble of ordering this from Franklin Covey Japan? For this specific reason. Okay, so they package things quite nicely. This was completely shrink wrapped. There's this plastic slip thing to hold the whole group together here, and attached to that, let's see if I can show that here, is this little box. And what that does is it protects the monthly tabs and gives them shape to keep them from getting busted when they're mailed. So I thought that was pretty cool. I've ordered from Franklin Japan before. I ordered some of their Tomo River paper inserts. They have a set of designs called Universal that I liked but didn't quite end up working out for me. So I've sold them and moved them on. So here's an overview of Franklin Covey's day on 1 page from Japan. Benjamin Franklin's quote about time is here in Japanese, and then everything else is in both Japanese and English. Franklin Covey logo, and then down here it says Franklin Covey Company, the Franklin Planner Company Japan website, Japan Classic, and then I'm assuming their Japanese telephone number. And then directions to their company, I guess. And then we've got here a overview of 2015 through 2020, and that looks like the day headings are all in Japanese, but it's in a Sunday through Saturday layout. Sundays are in red, and then major Japanese holidays are also in red. So there's that. And then for the month tabs, we've got the traditional index with a little bit of Japanese heading, but if you're familiar with the US pages or the English pages, you can certainly figure out what's going on. Beautiful, smooth paper. In fact, this is actually slightly nicer than the original inserts that I've had before, at least the monthly tabs. And again, here's your Sunday through Saturday layout, which I like. I love a Monday through Sunday layout. I think it's fabulous. I love the week being displayed like that. But whenever I've used it, my brain gets so confused going back and forth because at work, everywhere is a Sunday through Saturday calendar, paperwork that comes home from school. It's all, so my brain gets muddled and I accidentally write things down on the same day. So although I love seeing my weekends together for planning reasons, I've made the decision that I cannot convert the entire United States over with me. So I'm just going to have to suck it up and go back to using Sunday through Saturday month view. But when I'm looking at my week, I still like a Monday through Sunday, or Monday through Sunday view. Here we go. Column headings are all in English. Sundays are in red, just like they were on the reference calendar. And Japanese holidays, I'm assuming, are marked in red. And then there's tiny little Japanese characters here to say something. I don't know if those might be like day numbers. I'm not sure. And then if you flip, and then a memo page, and they've actually divided it up. It's got the same block view, so if you wanted, you could kind of make a list of things that are relevant to this week if you wanted. And then here on the back, we've got personal, business, just like a normal Franklin Covey layout. However, there's 2 sections for monthly goals for personal and business. That is not on any of the monthly view inserts I've owned from Franklin Covey. As an example, here's the back of the compact ones, and maybe it's because I haven't owned Classic in a while, I'm not sure, but here's personal business, but there's nothing for monthly goal setting, which I really like that. The lines are very faint and dotted, but they're there, and you'll note that, in fact, maybe you can see that when you compare with this page here, the text, the printing, is a softer green, almost a teal, less of a green. Especially you can see it in the back of the tab here. The front of the tab is white with green text, similar to what Franklin Covey does already, but a touch softer. But the back of the tab is this lovely soft teal, which I really like. It's laminated, and it has the number of the month rather than the month spelled out, and then the, I'm assuming, Japanese character for January. Actually, no, they're all the same, so I think that's just 1 month, 2 month. So here we are. We get 3 monthly reference calendars that are labeled in Japanese, but they've got 1, 2, 3, so January, February, March. The view, and then the back with that. So that's all the month tabs in a nutshell. So when you finish that, I believe you get a section on planning or tips on how to use your planner. There's something similar to that in the US version of the inserts. And here we get into the dailies and why I fell in love with these pages. So you begin every month with an index, just like you do on the tab dividers. And then when you turn the page, fairly similar to the US version. I like the font better. I love a sans serif font, what can I say? So day of the month, day of the week, the month, and the year. Some Japanese characters. Reference calendars that are labeled in English, unlike the reference calendars that were labeled here, which were labeled with the Japanese characters. The tips for marking your to-do list items are down here rather than up here like they tend to be on the US ones. And here we've got the appointment schedule, which I'm in love with. It has 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. and it's in 12-hour time. So it's not military time. Often the Japanese inserts, and this is why I didn't like their universal layout, switch to military time afternoon, and my brain doesn't do that. I've tried to convert it. And then there's a section down here for daily notes. It's a little narrow, but I think I can make it work. This is why I bought the Japanese inserts. Notice how over here the appointment schedule is here, and over here it's in the center. I prefer when my appointments are near the rings, because typically I fill out my appointment schedule at the beginning of the week. I go through and I lay out my whole week and figure out when I'm going to get everything done and what the week looks like. And then I don't really mess with it a whole lot. Like I might pencil something in that's changed or cross something out, but I'm not writing in that area a whole ton. But I am writing in this task list a lot. Things change, things get moved around, they didn't get done that day, whatever. So I like that this is on the outer part and this is on the inner, and then the daily notes is mirrored. So this mirror image layout to me is preferable to the US version where it's identical. In the US version, this just moves over. So the task list is here near the rings, and then the appointment schedule's here. I also prefer when this part, like the labeling of the day, is on the outer edges, and it's not in the US version because of the mirroring. So the not mirroring. So I'm very excited by these inserts. The paper is very smooth. It's different than the US inserts. The ones that I used have a little bit of a roughness to them. The single page, or the, what are these called? US version of the originals. These are just a little, not quite as smooth. A nice paper, but not quite as smooth. So the only thing I don't like about these is I can't use them until 2016. So I have to wait. Patience is not one of my virtues. At the back here, when we finish with the year, there's a summary at the end of each month for, I think, doing expense tracking, and the classic version in the US has these too. We have planning calendars for 2016 through 2018. And then this is something Franklin Covey does that I really like. There are planning calendars that are back-to-back, so they don't have what the monthly tabs have. They don't have that task list in the index, but you can start planning out events well into all of 2017, which is a big help for me because where I work, we are often planning, it's not unusual to be planning 18 months out in draft form. So there's that. Full monthly planning calendars. And then 2019 through 2021. So you get 2016 through 18, 2019 through 2021 in a compact, slender package of inserts there. Then you get planning calendars with month breakouts for 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23. That's crazy even for me, but hey, if you need it, it's there. Some instructions on how to get in contact with them. And then this looks like a guidebook on how to go about using the inserts, which is entirely in Japanese, but still looks helpful to me, even that. The other thing of note, so here's the entire year, which is nice, is I wanted to measure, where's my ruler, here's one, how wide, let's see if I can find a better ruler around here. There we go. How wide the line spacing is. Looks like just over 1/8 of an inch for the scheduling lines. Yeah, it looks like the same. Let's do it in millimeters here. 4 millimeters. So it's the standard, it's the same width of line spacing as Franklin Covey uses here in the US. Yes, identical line spacing is what I've used in my compact. So I prefer 5 millimeter, but 4, I've gotten used to it. I can deal with it. If I have to, I'll use double pages. One thing I did notice is that each month is standalone, so you only need to put in a month's worth if you want. There's the expense page here and then the index to start the new month. One thing that's going to be a little hard for me, Daytimer does this a little smarter on a day on one page. So say you've got your week going along, you start on Monday here, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Saturday, Sunday appear together, but then the next time, Monday's on the left because there's no insert page. Daytimer daily pages, they insert a spacer page to get you back on track. So to break up, let's see if I can find an example here. I know I have one. Daytimer's pages go from Sunday to Saturday with a notes and memos page that starts off the week Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday, and then there's that memo page again. So that kind of keeps the day of the week on the same side, which doesn't sound like it's a big deal, but you kind of build up muscle memory when you plan, and you get used to writing things in the same place. And so that is one thing that I think I might prefer about the Daytimer layout. But this is very attractive to me compared to, say, this. That's just my personal preference. Although I do get a bigger notes section with that, so that's something else to consider, but I get a more condensed schedule. So there you go. Things to think about. A couple other things that I ordered, and I'm sure some folks have seen these elsewhere, but I figured I'd show them off, is I ordered another compass ruler page, and it's not any different than the US one. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised to find out that they both have them done at the same place. Seems like this plastic's a little, like it doesn't want to undo, but I'll mess with that later. One thing I did notice, and I'm a little worried about, is I have a set of replacement rings. I don't have a binder right now, but I have a set of replacement rings, and this is too big. Like, it doesn't stay. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that, because I plan to put these in whatever planner I end up using, because I like a 1-inch ring or smaller. So I don't know. I'll chew on that later. And then I picked up a pair of the frosted page lifters. These are a gray tone. Let's see if I can come on top of some white here so you can kind of see better. I find page lifters very helpful. When I don't have them with a binder, I make them. But since I was ordering already and it wasn't going to cost anything extra to ship these, here you go. So I've got, they're a little thinner, I think, than most of the black plastic ones I've seen from the US binders. And then, of course, they're actually semi-see-through, transparent. So that was my order. I ordered the, where's the cover for that? The Dan one page. And then I ordered the compact size, and it's the same. It's just a shrunk down version. Oops, upside down here. It uses that same mirrored layout that I really like. But it goes from 8 until 8, not 8 to 11. And then the notes section, I think, proportionally takes up a little more space, and this is a bit smaller. So I've already put those in a compact binder the first 6 months of the year. So there they are, if I do decide to use them. There's the monthly tabs. Same thing where they're standalone. So I have these to fall back on if Classic does not end up working out for me. And it might not. This kind of binder is just so much easier to carry around with you. If I find myself leaving the Classic at home, I'm either going to have to really discipline myself somehow to get myself on board with this, or I'm not really sure what I'm going to do to teach myself. And then I have another couple things that I ordered, but I'm going to do a separate video on those because this is more of interest to the ring binder folks. And I will have a separate video on a couple of bound planners that I ordered that I'm kind of excited about. So thanks for watching. Any questions, put them in the comments.